Hey Capricorn, welcome to November 2020. I'm pulling from my Affirmators Tarot because it's my cutest deck, my most gentle deck, and I feel like we kind of need a little bit of gentle vibes. I also pulled an Angel Oracle for the same reason, and I got for us the Angel of Strength. Whew. Okay. My strength is a precious gift from my soul in which I am always safe. A great strength emerges in our lives when we recognize that security and happiness are soul qualities. Our strength lies in allowing those qualities to flow through us, bringing the ability to go ahead with deep inner security. Cool. We'll talk more about that perhaps, but for now I pulled the Page of Pentacles. And what's this? Knight of Swords in reverse. Some more. Nine of Cups. Two of Swords. Temperance. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. Okay, and for, I think this is plenty. So, Four of Pentacles, the Magician in reverse, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, Two of Cups, Nine of Cups, Two of Swords, Temperance, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Well, this feels to me right off the bat like a classic case of, is this too good to be true? Why do I say that? Well, we got, this, blah, 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 etc., this. So, oh my god. Also, I just want to acknowledge that I spilled a little bit of water in my shirt, and I've been very self-conscious about this water that has not dried yet. But you know what? I think let us use this as part of our message at this point, which is like, it will dry, and also you probably didn't even notice until I brought attention to it. I think that there's just kind of an overall vibe in your perhaps self-consciousness, and also like a little bit of maybe your own worthiness and deservingness is kind of being tested. I feel like this is kind of the story I'm getting right now. It's like you wished upon a star, right? Or you rubbed a lamp and a genie came out, but not quite that. I think it's more the wishing upon a star, only because it's like with a genie, you're having a direct interaction with another being. I think with a star, it's kind of more of like a wish, a whim, there's like this like whimsical quality, Capricorn, of you kind of like wanting, wishing, hoping for some dream of yours to come true. And, holding it in your heart, but not fully expecting it to ever happen, right? In fact, it's like maybe the fact that you don't believe that it will ever happen is kind of what makes it start to happen. But we got this Magician, so it's like in reverse. I feel like the Magician in reverse to me is not saying that the magic didn't work. It's saying that you didn't know your own power, Capricorn. Like, I feel like I kind of get the sense of like, you wished upon a star, maybe it is to bring it back to a genie. You like found this, like Aladdin in the cartoon. I haven't seen the live action, but like, he's like, oh, look at this dirty old rusty piece of shit lamp, and then he rubs it and a genie comes out, and he's like, oh my god. I feel like with the Magician in reverse, it's just that you didn't know your own power, and you didn't know your own magic, and you didn't know your own abilities. That's like really what I'm getting from this. As opposed to like it didn't work, it's almost like it worked so well that you're like in shock and disbelief. And I think there's kind of a sense of you being like a little freaked out by yourself almost. I get that this Two of Swords, I have a feeling of like, this is kind of a card of indecision. I mean, look at how like this alligator is like, I don't know which way to go, or like, I don't know what is right. To me, with this, I kind of feel like it's more like, I don't know what to believe, right? I think that life is a very strange, mysterious proposition, just our existence. I am, of course, interested in science and what it has to say, but I think something I'm acknowledging as well is that science has its limitations. There are just straight up mysteries about the nature of existence that cannot, like, by their very nature, cannot be proven. Like death, what happens in death? There's no way to quantify that. There's no way to test that. There's no way to, like, and you can hear every single near-death experience anecdote under the sun, but none of it feels like it proves anything. Or you can even have your own type of mystical, magical, near-death type of experience. That's what I'm talking about here with this magician. I'm not saying you're going to have a near-death experience, Capricorn, but I do feel like it's like we can have our own experiences of the unknown, the unseen, that kind of like mystery of life, and we can doubt ourselves. We can like not really believe that it's possible because we do want the proof. So I think I've been thinking a lot about, and it's coming up in your reading, that paradox between, you know, there are limitations to what we can know, you know, qualitatively or quantitatively with testing and science and getting proof. And then there's, I mean, like, also, sorry, and then there's our lived experience, but I think we can even doubt our own lived experience or our own perception of reality, right? So that's really heavily what I'm getting at the top of this, is just maybe something good is happening. Something maybe you've always hoped or dared to dream about, but there's a huge pause or a huge, like, shit, you know? Like, what, like, it's like I'm not knowing what to make of it in a way. It's like you wished upon the star, and then your wish came true, and I think that freaks you out, because you're like, oh my god, did I do that? Like, is that my, and then, like, if I did that, like, what else can I do? Or, like, what, it's like, you don't know. I think there's, like, a kind of a sense of, like, not knowing the rules of how this works. On top of that, I feel like with this Ten of Pentacles, like I was saying, I feel like this is challenging your own worthiness and deservingness, right? Like, I can wish for $1 bazillion, but if I don't believe I'm worthy and deserving on some fundamental subconscious level that I'm worthy and deserving of $1 bazillion, then I'm gonna have a really hard time accepting it and incorporating it and integrating it into my life. I'm gonna have a hard time taking responsibility for the $1 bazillion. I'm gonna have a hard time kind of stepping into that identity. So I'm not saying it's $1 bazillion that you wished for. I just do feel like the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Magician in reverse, to me, neither of these are saying you don't get what you want. It's almost like you get exactly what you want, and getting exactly what you want is overwhelming and kind of like makes you a little freaked out by your own power, and also makes you kind of have to ask yourself some questions about, like, what's going on here. With that, I get this Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords. The Ace of Swords is about truth and about clarity, and the Owl is about, to me, a little bit of like clairvoyance vibes. Being able to see in the dark. And the Knight of Swords is kind of a card of like moving through some like of these blocks subconsciously. But with these showing up in reverse, again, and with that Two of Swords, I feel like there's a very strong mental block for you in reaction to this nice good thing that's happening. We did get the Two of Cups. My disclaimer in my tarot readings these days is that I don't want to predict that you're meeting someone, because I heard a tarot reader say that like tarot readings in and of themselves can sometimes act as third party energies. And I would say the reason for that is because true love is about vulnerability and connection. And as Brene Brown says, the opposite of vulnerability and connection is trying to control and predict. So I think if you're using your tarot practice or using tarot videos to try to get some definitive answer and control and predict when that person's coming into your life or what they think about you or whether they like you back or whatever, I feel like that can kind of like be stepping into territory where you're actually like pushing it, like that connection away from you. And I think we would all much rather be in the actual connection than watch me talk about the possibility of getting into a connection forever, you know? So I'm trying to be very delicate and careful about how I talk about the Two of Cups. But the Two of Cups did show up, and it is about love and connection, and it is about partnership, too. I mean, look, it's two seahorses intertwined with little hearts. So it's simultaneously something I want to be careful about, but also it's hard not to talk about the idea of partnership or the idea of love or the idea of like finding kind of that dream come true, especially when we're talking about the Nine of Cups, dreams come true. So again, a very classic example of this could be, although they're general readings and I'm not saying anything in particular to you, Capricorn, it could be meeting the love of your life and they're really into you, you're really into them, it feels like it's the real deal, it feels like this could go somewhere, and then all of your fears, all of your like shit, all of your past trauma, all of your past disappointment puts the fucking sorry if you care about cussing, puts the brakes on and is like, whoa, hold on, no, I don't know, like this absolutely a feeling of too good to be true. And with the element of magic involved in this, because there is a really deep, I would say, magical element of this, it kind of might feel like you made this person up in a way, or the situation. It could feel a little bit like if it could feel a little bit like the simulation it's showing its glitches a little bit too much, or like it's kind of the vibe I get is like it might feel like a dream, it might feel so good that it starts to feel fake and surreal in a way, where you're like, okay, this is literally like word for word in the like dream partner list what I asked for, and getting everything I thought I wanted is not, I'm not enjoying it, but I'm also like, I just get a really strong feeling of doubt. One of my favorite TED Talks is by a woman named Leslie Hazelton, and she talks about the relationship between faith and doubt, and she has this, I can link it below, and she talks about how Muhammad like had this whole like mystical experience where like a bush caught on fire and God spoke directly to Muhammad, but like his reaction wasn't oh yay, I found God. It was more like, oh my God, did I go crazy? I lost my mind. This must either be like someone tricking me, this must be like something must be wrong for it to be this good. But like, again, I'm trying to speak to this like level of magic where it's like maybe you're manifesting too well, you know, like in the past maybe you manifested things and it like there was a logical explanation for it where you could be like, maybe I manifested it, maybe I didn't, but like this, the way things are happening for you right now, it just feels, there's super much like an element of surrealism to it, and that's why I'm getting all of this like logical questioning and like lack of trust or faith, not lack of faith, but lack of belief. So in that TED Talk, she's talking about the relationship between faith and doubt. If you have no doubt, that is certainty, which is really akin to dogma, which is not being open to the question and the mystery. And so her point was the very nature of faith and like having faith in something that we can't know is the doubt. The doubt is like the fuel that creates the engine for faith to exist, because the faith is the believing without the evidence. The faith is like the trusting without necessarily the grounded reasons for that. And I think if we were talking about romantic relationships, I think that is literally true of all romantic relationships. The matrix glitching aside, right? In all partnerships, there are no guarantees for any of it, right? You could be in a partnership for a long time and things can still change and happen in unexpected ways, right? That's just the nature of being alive on this planet. We don't really know. We can be in every day can be the same, and then one day it's different. So that's kind of the nature of living and life, but we as humans kind of get ourselves into these predictable patterns and this false feeling of security, right? Four of Pentacles. With this, I really get a sense of this clinging on to an old idea, Pentacles, well, fours are about stability and foundations, right? Yeah, they are. Swords, cups. Okay, yeah, so it's about the foundation, but with the Four of Pentacles, the foundation, it's like you're staying in one spot because you're afraid. It's like this restrictive quality to the Four of Pentacles, where it's like a hiding, it's a kind of like a misery energy. Look at this hippo. He's so suspicious. He's so anxious. He's like trying to hide his pentacles from these birds because he doesn't believe he'll ever have enough. It's like very much a scarcity mentality mindset to me. And it's wanting to hang on to what you have because it's like the fear of letting go, then you'll have nothing. And so it's like, but part of the energy of this too is like if you spend all this energy kind of like closing in around what you're protecting, what you already have, you don't really invite in abundance and like flow and maybe even more, right? So it's like he could have this 10 of Pentacles. Again, to talk about these two together, these I feel like have a very specific relationship. They're both cards of having. They're both cards of like, the difference between them is this is kind of like a I'm out for myself energy. And the 10 of Pentacles, if I were to look at it upright, it's a card that invites community. It's like abundance. Like I have so much abundance that I can share my abundance. My abundance begets more abundance. The more I share with others, the more they share back. And it's just kind of like this really beautiful flow, which is why I'm in the completion of the Pentacles, which is like I've mastered the material realm of like money or, goods or whatever are not possessions, but things that benefit my life and that I can share with others. Again, this is like, I only have what I have and I can't move because if I move, I might lose. But really, you do need to move to gain more. So, interesting too to me, Capricorn, that this showed up and that this showed up in reverse, because it's like, I think the universe or whatever is kind of trying to say to you, like, hey, Capricorn, like, you wanted it and you deserve it and it's here now. Like, can you embrace it? Like, that's your challenge, really, Capricorn, is like, can you embrace it? So, can you embrace everything you ever wanted, or at least a lot of good abundance, a lot of good changes, a lot of like good, happy additions to your life? Page of Pentacles, I feel like, is sort of the wanting. I got this guy with a to-do list. I feel like to me it's like, can you be open to the new life that's trying to come in? I don't know. I think that it's just sort of like, I could clarify it, I suppose. I will. 3 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I think this could just be then, like, maybe being a little bit rigid and stuck to the old way of being. Yeah. Kind of wanting to do things by the list. 3 of Wands is about new opportunities, or like kind of seeing where you can go with it, and with this in reverse, because like, there's a little bit of a block there. So I think that's like a bunch of what the reading is about, is kind of things are great and that's hard in a way. Let's talk about this Angel of Strength, right? Like, so we were talking about 4 of Pentacles being scarcity mentality, clinging, as opposed to being in the flow and dynamism of sharing in abundance with a community, or trusting that there will be enough, or trusting that you're worthy and deserving of kind of that type of success. And the strength is, our strength lies in allowing, we recognize that security and happiness are soul qualities. So I think that's really that big difference between the 4 of Pentacles that I was talking about and the 10 of Pentacles. Blah, 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 right? I'm channeling, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself a little bit. Yeah, I think that you're kind of needing to find some inner strength, this temperance, right? I think really kind of like really what your challenge or your opportunity or your growth lesson for this month is, can I create space, faith, stability internally? Can I trust this matrix, right? Can I trust that the nature of this thing that I can't understand is benevolent and not trying to trick me or deceive me? With this 2 of Cups, I think, can I, even if it indeed could be a partnership, but it's like, even if it's just sort of feeling connected to like self-love and like this maybe like abundance of like new work or exciting dream come true opportunities, and feeling the love of that connection, can I create space within myself, temperance? Can I balance or alchemize my fears of having and worthiness and deservingness, so that I can create room in my life to allow these new positive developments to really fully unfold? Can I accept that I don't have all the answers and I don't know how this is working? But can I have at least the openness and the curiosity to see where it takes me and to see where it is going? Can I also believe in taking some risks, right? With that stability, that if my security and happiness are soul qualities and I've been stuck in that 4 of Pentacles of like the clinging, and maybe to open myself up to the 10 of Pentacles feels like a risk because I could lose the 4. It's like a gamble, right? Like if I have the 4, I could spend the 4 to maybe get the 10, but I feel there's a risk of me just having 0 and no 10. I'd rather have the 4 than get. But with all this, I think it's just saying, like, do take the risk. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And also, even if worst case scenario, you gambled your 4 Pentacles for the 10 and you lost the 4 and then you had nothing, I feel like you still gained kind of the willingness to be open to change, the willingness to kind of want more and better for yourself, as opposed to just staying stuck and stagnant. And also, again, temperance, like, it's like a little angel sea lion type thing, right? It's like I'm having the faith that what is meant for me won't pass me by, or that, like, again, maybe kind of just believing in the benevolence of the nature of the universe, which is super challenging, I know, because there's a lot of evidence that the universe is not a benevolent place, you know? there is a lot of strife, there is a lot of disharmony, there is a lot of grief, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of tragedy. I mean, I've experienced tragedy very recently in my own life, right? And it's kind of like, in those moments of tragedy, I don't know that you ever say like, oh, that was happened for a reason, or oh, that like there was some positives out of that. I don't think it's about that so much as it's like, there's still stuff worth living for, right? Like, sad things have happened in my life, but just because these really awful, horrible things that will never really feel okay happened, I still never should. I still would like to cultivate my inner strength to, again, believe in happy new starts or love or connection, or it's kind of like, oh my God, forgive me for going there, but like, if you lost someone, it's like opening your heart to love again, right? And having the strength to do that, to love again, even after some maybe heartbreak or some tragedy of that kind. So I think the temperance is about balance, and I think it's about inner balance. It's about alchemizing elements, kind of. And I think maybe when we're talking about like tragedy, I'm not, again, asking us to spin our misery or our grief into gold. I'm more kind of saying, how can I honor the life I still have left to live, and the gifts I have, and the opportunities I have, by really fully embracing them and accepting them and really cherishing them. That is what I'm trying to say. How can I let what I've lost inform how I nurture and find openness and the strength to love again, and also the kind of courage to take a chance, and to kind of like let myself believe that things can be different and or good, even if they haven't been. Again, I'm trying to speak to the benevolence of the universe. Even if the universe hasn't really, or if we were talking about love, maybe I've only been in bad abusive relationships, and now I'm meeting this new person. It's kind of like that dynamic of like, can I not judge this new person by the behavior and actions of all my past partners? Can I just kind of get to know them and who they are? And if you really were in like abusive situations in the past, then it does take a lot of strength and courage to believe in that stability and that happiness, or the soul qualities that it's coming to you, that magic, that really powerful magic I spoke about at the beginning with this and with this. It's happening because of your inner healing journey that you've embarked on so far, right? And that temperance is just inviting you really into more healing, into deeper healing, through the openness of being connected and open to love. Strength. And our strength lies in allowing those qualities to flow through us, bringing the ability to go ahead with deep inner security. Right. So I think it's kind of like, to bring this reading to a landing, I think it's like things are going well, and you're kind of becoming a super magical, powerful manifester, because you are worthy and deserving, and you have like kind of done a lot of work to arrive at this point, right? So I think it's like also by honoring and accepting this opportunity for healing, even if it feels a little like overwhelming or too good to be true, or kind of like challenges your sense of like risk and security and ability to kind of like be open. I think it's like creating space for like your doubt and your uncertainty to coexist with your desire and openness to really believe in the best for yourself and for your life and for the nature of the way the world works. So that's sort of what I would say. It feels really good. I think November feels like a good month for everyone so far. And for you, I feel you're doing like a lot of like really deep healing around really kind of stepping into faith and allowing the vibration of love to kind of provide security and stability and abundance, and to know that you are worthy and deserving. You're stepping into your worthiness and deservingness of your havingness and your healing. All right. So that's it. And I love you, and I'll see you again in December. Okay. Bye.